In Playmaker, when you click on a state within an FSM, it highlights with a blue box to show you which one is selected and shows you whatever actions are currently inside of that state. But this also works at runtime, meaning when the game is running. So if I start the game here, you notice now I've got a green box around this FSM to tell me this is an active FSM, the game is running, and I've got a green box around the current state. And if I select other states, I see the contents, I see the actions, just like we do when the game's not running. And the name of the action is white, which tells me it's not active. But what if I wanted to fire one of these two states off? Well, I can do that manually. I don't have to do it through game logic. I can do it manually right here. On Windows, it's an Alt key, and on Mac, it's your Option key. And on some Macs, it's an Alt Option key. But if you hold that key down and left click, you will manually fire off the state that you've clicked on. And it will show whatever action's inside as active by changing their name to green. This one runs constantly, so it's going to stay active. Let's activate this one. We've moved into that. And notice it was only active for a little bit. It's only got like a second or so that it's going to play. So I can just Alt-Option click on any state to activate it. Now there's another way to do this. I can click directly on the event itself, and notice you get the little arrow that tells you where it's going. If I Alt or Option click directly on the event, it will follow out the line and activate whatever state it's attached to. So Alt-Option click manually activates states. Let's take a look at another cool way we can use Playmaker at runtime. Notice in my rotate action, I've got rotation around the X angle hardwired at a value of 65. What if I want to update that in real time? I mean, you can change the number. You can put in 200 or something and start the game and come in and look at it again and then stop the game and change the number. But that gets really cumbersome, right? That's going to take a lot of time. And probably, if this is a real game element, I would want to tune it inside the game in real time and really get it just right, just perfect. Well, one way to do that, if you run the game, activate the state, and if you hover over just to the left of this box and then left click and hold while dragging, you can change the number in real time. So there I'm adjusting the speed of the cube, right as I drag. And that's pretty handy. But what if I want to edit a whole bunch of objects at the same time, right? Maybe I'm going to use the same speed variable, whatever I come up with, on lots of different objects, and drilling down into all of them and finding them and updating them. That could get cumbersome. So let's just set up a variable for that. I'm going to create a new float variable, call it speed. And with my created variable selected, let's look down here at the options. There's a box called inspector. And if I check that, you'll see right over here, I've got a box now, an option to change this number. It showed up in the inspector for this object. Turning this on and off just shows and hides it. It exposes this variable right here in the inspector. So now if I run the game, let's activate that state again by Option or Alt clicking on that. Oh, wait, one thing. Got to change this number to the speed variable. There we go. Now let's run it. Okay, so notice the speed variable has a value of 0, so it's not moving at all. Now I can adjust it over here. All right, and as I drag, then I can adjust it in real time. I can also just change the number and jump immediately to something new. And this will now apply to any object all over the scene. You could have, say, I don't know, a few windmills or some, ambient elements like windmills and water wheels, or just the speed of different background characters that are moving around, or anything that you might use multiple speeds on. You can adjust it all from right here and see it all in real time. And there's no need to go back to this object ever because we've already assigned the variable.